episode of Smoke and Mirrors. This episode is brought to you by the color gray. Also brought to you by the number 98. And now, here's the song. Well, if you're having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, and I have even more serious questions about whether or not we're very comfortable with the cognitive dissonance that is really required for us to be out dancing around and singing to songs like that. I just have some very serious questions. And now here they are, your invenerable host, Carlos Kareem Wendy. I know placement. I know where to be. DJ Airhorn, that's how we know we're here. There's a record that I'm on. It's called And We Ride. It's good. The band is called Wallace. Go to Bandcamp. Get it. It's good. This thing is called Smoke and Mirrors. Hey, if you're here at this point, hopefully you know what this is. Are you a new viewer? Great. Thank you so much for being here. There's old viewers here too, and all kinds of people. And the way we do that and keep spreading around is to spread the love through passing the J. That simply means to like and subscribe if you happen to be on YouTube. Maybe you want to go ahead and share the link. You could also go ahead and simply share this on your page. You could also like it in the community page on Smoke and Mirrors. That is under the tree, the Philosopher's Tree. That's where we be. If you really, 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 really like it and you wanted to throw 5 on it, you could do that. You could do that at Venmo at Carlos-Wyndham. You could do that at the Cash App, $CK Wyndham, PayPal /me.CK Wyndham. That is a proverbial 5. You want to throw 2 on it? Go ahead. I'm not going to be mad at you. You want to chuck in a buck? You could chuck a buck. You don't got to chuck a buck. You could chuck no bucks. You could chuck $150. You could chuck $500. What do I care? You could be really cool and become a patron of the arts, as have Ruthie, Erica, Amber, Aaron, Seth, Lisa, Kristen, Renisa, Michael, Natalie, Juliet, Tarika, Tracy, Venus, Jen, and Tink. Oh, yeah. New patron. If you become a patron, guess what happens? You get to hold your very own Carlos Kareem Wyndham 2020 trading comedy card, as held right there by international recording star and sensation, soon to be star, superstar, fuck it, he's a star, Redray Frazier. Hey, everybody. Hi. I'm only a minute or two late if you are judging me by the white man's time, which if you are, why are you here? I hope you're well. I am well. I am well. I am surviving. I'm not gonna lie. I am surviving. Listen, we keep it real here. I was gonna try and do like an SNL and pretend like I was not out here with Joshua scrambling until the last minute with all of the research that we were provided by producer Tracy for today's show. And I'll tell you what, between doing all of the production with Joshua, reading the research from Tracy, and getting ready to spend some beautiful time with you, man, oh man, also raising and helping a child to work with their writing work and being her editor in chief. Her copy editor. I wasn't ready to do it today. It was fine. It is Veterans Day, so whatever that means to you, wherever you stand in the world, shout out to that. I don't know any black people who that does not impact. So shout out to those impacted directly. Shout out to those impacted indirectly. Shout out to those who celebrate this day for themselves and what it meant for them to get through being a veteran. And shout out to those for whom it simply was trauma and left scars. All of you are seen, and each and every one of you is welcome here, as are all of your descendants, because we have been conscripted into military service for this motherfucking capitalist, white supremacist society, patriarchal society from Jumpy Jump. Hey, shout out to Tea with Queen and Jay. I don't know if you heard their podcast today. I did hear their podcast today. And there was a little bit of a shout out for us from them in their props today. So they were mentioning smoke and mirrors, and mentioned Queen mentioned having been sat here and having some talks and some bullshits. And I think that was the last episode that was referred to as some of the bullshits. And so it's some of the blacknesses. And we're still going to bullshit about the blackness. It's a wonderful thing. Gonna bullshit about the blackness today. Got a lot of things to do. Please, if you can, stick through. Stick through to the end. Got a treat for you. We have a very special video premiere. Friend of the show, Redray Frazier, has dropped the video for Better Man. And we are going to be, we are honored to share that with you here on Smoke and Mirrors. So special, extra special second shout out to Redray Frazier, and there will be a musical performance of Better Man at the end of today's programmatics. There are going to be programmatics, indeed. As I suggested, much research went into what's going to happen. Not that it's serious, okay? But we do take what we do seriously. And we take you seriously. And we appreciate you as an audience and as members of this community at Smoke and Mirrors who are sat here beneath the philosopher's tree with us. Joshua, see you, buddy. See you, buddy. Right? Producer Tracy said that I have to stop being such an asshole to Joshua. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Joshua's our intern, and okay. All right. Being nice to Joshua. Well, Joshua and I have been hard at work taking some of the work, for doing the production, and now we're going to bring it to you. And this is a segment that we do sometimes. You may recognize it. We've done it a few times. We're going to do it a few more. And it is called Accidental Racist. Huh? You know this one. Worst song ever in the history of man. That's the one right there. Accidental Racist. We're doing a few new things you'll also notice on the production side of things. Again, you know, we're not doing it's not secrets. Just figured it would make some sense to actually use the since we have a frame, why don't we frame things in the frame? Try that. Maybe tomorrow Joshua will even get the opening credits in the frame so that we don't end up in this kind of a situation again, Joshua. All right. I get the point. Thank you. We are doing our segment, Accidental Racist. This is not a segment solely dedicated to the art and life of rock and roll Hall of Fame inductee Todd James, LL Cool J, but certainly inspired by, and he certainly gave us a theme song. So let's get into it right now. Today, let's talk about a few people who were accidentally racist. Alec Baldwin, I think was accidentally racist at the end of Saturday Night Live. Now, if, as some have suggested, At the end of Saturday Night Live, when he was out there with all of the other guests and hosts who were on the program, and they were drinking and having a good time and being out there just partying, he got out there carrying this sign that he was not suggesting that it was his work imitating a buffoon and not the work of the organizers on the ground in all of the black states and cities that actually won this election. Because that would be black erasure and erasing the work that was done by black organizers, activists in Detroit, in Atlanta, in Nevada, and I'm sure he didn't mean it, but even if he didn't mean it, and this sign was associated with a happy birthday sign that was being held up right next to it, it still came off like you were being a bit of a racist, narcissistic dick. Again, I'm sure you weren't, but that's why we want to give you the sign for accidental racism. Accidental racism by old friend Van Jones, seen here for some reason with Kim Kardashian. Van Jones recently made quite a splash on the internets and in the hearts of white folks, talking about the impact of how much easier it is to be a parent now that Joe Biden is the president-elect. Van Jones went on to congratulate the audacity of Kamala Harris for coming out on stage to a song by Beyonce, whilst she was walking on stage to a song by Mary J. Blige. I have learned many things on these internets and in Black Twitter in these last 14 or so years, and one of the things that is absolutely true is that you cannot mix up Mary J. Blige and Beyonce. You are going to have two generations of black women Twitter, black femme Twitter, black queer Twitter coming for that ass. It was an accident. It was an accident. Josh, can we? Thank you. There was some accidental racism by Eva Longoria. Eva Longoria, seen here wishing she was AOC. Eva Longoria, do you have a bevy, by the way? I didn't even ask you today. Do you have a bevy? I have. It's going to take a second to adjust to the everything being on the other sides. I'll show you. Eva Longoria was being interviewed by Anderson Cooper. Anderson Cooper asking her what it was like being part of a blue wave that was happening, and making sure that we gave credit to the black communities for doing what they did in each one of the swing states. When Eva Longoria said yes, and it was an ultimate win for Latinas. What she was trying to do, she said, was to talk about the impact that the Latinas had over Latinos, male Latinos and male presenting Latinos, and showing out to vote, where there were so many Latinos voting for Trump that the Latinas were the ones who were not by a 3-1 margin. She was wrong about that margin. That is not the margin. She was no 3-1 margin. But also, too, it erased black women and it erased black people and black voters to say that. She has since apologized after doubling down and being defended by her friend Kerry Washington and being continued to be dragged by all of Black Twitter for 48 hours. So there was an apology from Eva Longoria for her accidental races. Let's all take a little hit before we get to the main dish, though, because it's a juicy. You have to say it's juicy because some people really, 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 really object to the word moist. All right, let's get to it. Joshua. Tyra Banks. Miss Tyra Banks. Seen here smizing is our champion black racist of the week, our champion accidental racist of the week. Don't think she was trying to be racist this week when she was racist, but she was racist. And we're going to get to it. She's got a history of weird racism and weird just human foibles and weird fuckery that we're gonna scratch the lottery ticket today. Now, before we get too deep into this, I want to say this. Isn't it lovely to be doing this instead of having to talk about Donald Trump? I mean, holy shit. The level of relief is still just saturating every pore like I'm SpongeBob SquarePants. Do you know what I'm saying? SpongeBob Square President. It is so fucking. I wish I had a biscuit to sop up this feeling and then squeeze it back into a bottle and a mister and sell it to you on shopping network and have Tyra Banks be the one to be the spokesperson. Smizing like that. I keep looking in the wrong direction. She used to be. Josh, we'll do it again. We'll just erase that part. Cut it out. Don't even worry about it. Okay. Just we'll take it from smizing. Okay. Smizing. Like that. Oh, good job. That is so much funnier that way. Seriously, let's keep it like that. That was good. All right, smizing like that. Tyra Banks. Let's get into Tyra. Now, you know who Tyra is. I know who Tyra is. We're not going to I don't even want to address the meme right now. I don't even want to address that. That's not the point. It's famous. If you're part of Black Twitter, we don't even have time. There's so much stuff. Tyra makes interesting choices and has made interesting career and political and public choices for a very long time. Some of those choices do not sit so well when you revisit those choices. I will say this, though. Some of those choices were also rotten from the beginning. Some of those choices were the kinds of choices that shouldn't have been made at all. And when she made those choices were a bit like pouring rotten half and half into your coffee one morning and then coming back the next day hoping that it might be better that day instead. And then it's not, and you come back the next day, and to try to make it better, you reheat it on the stove. then put it back in the same cup and get yourself a big old swig. One of those kinds of decisions was this one, when Miss Thing thought it would be a good thing to do to walking around in a fat suit. Inspired by the likes of Eddie Murphy, by what is that girl's name? The one that makes all the stupid movies. Tyler. By Tyler. Inspired by Martin Lawrence. Girl, what were you doing? Also, too, what the fuck was the point of this? So that you would know what it was like to be a normie? Huh? And then when you came out like a big girl, you came out dressed like a big girl who didn't know how to shop anywhere except for Lane Bryant circa 1992. What the fuck were you doing? Tyler Perry, yes, thank you, Tyler. Joshua, how come you didn't know that? Well, Kristen knew it. You're right, baby. It was a lot of research in just a very short time. You did a good job. That's a very impactful photo. Thank you. So, she did that. That wasn't the worst of it, though. She did other things. I mean, let's just the body shaming of it all, honey. Really, honey, seriously. As a model, is this what we're doing? This is what we're doing. We're suggesting that models should continue to be anorexic and bulimic. This is what we're doing? Oh, my Lord. I am so, thank you, Lizzo. Thank you. This is just garbage. Thank you, Big Frida. Thank you. I don't know. I mean, if Glamazon is your shit, Glamazon is your shit. But this is a lot of othering. You are not special. And since then, are not still the same size, because none of us stays the same size forever, boo-boo. That's the other lesson in this. Some bullshit. Also, Tyler. Now I got Tyler Perry on my goddamn mind. Joshua, let's take that back. I want to do that transition. This should be smooth. We need a good segue, okay? Thank you. Can we go? Okay, on 3, on 2, on 1. Also, Miss Banks is very into this idea of race changing and race trading places, if you will. Sort of the same thing that was being spoken to in the film Get Out, in which white people inhabited the skin and the bodies of black people for the benefit of themselves. She had all of her models take on the ethnicity of a different nationality and ethnicity and race, which, as you can see, did not age well. Again, stinky cheese in the coffee. It's stinky cheese in the coffee, and we just shouldn't do blackface. Now, I know some of you are like, girl, why are you being so upset? This is not even necessarily, I mean, they're browning their skin, but is it blackface? Is this more of like a social exploratory experiment that is also entertainment, a la Robert Downey Jr., a la Eddie Murphy as a white man? Maybe it is that sort of thing. And at least, for goodness sake, she doesn't have anyone running around in a silly afro wig trying to do a fake Beyonce sort of a situation. That would be ridiculous. And we wouldn't have that on any pictures of it, would we? Of her holding a black baby doing it. That's not a thing that would have been permitted and perhaps even encouraged by executive producer Tyra Banks. Could it? No way. No way. 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 That, I mean, that's just, it doesn't, it looks like a nightmare out of, oh, you know what she looks like? She looks like a babysitter at Burning Man. She looks like a babysitter at what is that other one y'all go to? Ocho Rios, whatever that one is that y'all go to in the desert where you go to Coachella, right? That's the child drop off center at Coachella, and she gonna be there for you. Hook it. Oh hell yes. Oh hell yes, Lisa. This happened. Lisa, this happened in real life. In real life, I'm trying to move it. My eyes look weird right now because I'm trying to move that over. Thank you. So I can look at your comments and see you and talk to you. Now we got it all together. Joshua, this new setup is kind of cute. I like that. I like that cardigan too. That's cute. No, it's happening. It's popping. It's popping. It, no. On anybody else, a cardigan is going to be very 2002. On you, it's very 2000 and now. Okay? Okay. Okay. Joshua. Hey, what about though all of the other people who are on the show? Well, some of the other people on the show, one of the J's, Jay Manuel, in fact, had some things to say about it. And what girlfriend had to say is that it was absolutely horrible. It was a nightmare. It could not have been worse if it wanted to be worse. It was just garbage, garbage, garbage. Do you know what I'm saying? Here's one of the things that happened about that is that the Jay, in answer to all of the nonsense, wrote a a fan fiction about what if I were trapped in a living hell in which the executive producer kept making decisions that were belittling all of the models who were coming onto the show, was not finding any real talent, and also was setting some very strange set standards around binary gender constraints, and it was so odd. Maybe that was allegedly what the book The Meltdown was about. The Meltdown, the wig, the bitch, and the meltdown. That was the, you can get that now. The Meltdown, right? We know what the Meltdown was. It's famous. But it wasn't real emotion. And also, how come this sort of thing, this sort of behavior, was only reserved toward other black women? And in particular, black women who are darker than our light-skinned asses. I do recognize that I am one of the light-skinned, but that only means that it is my job to double down on pulling other people's light-skinned cards when they are doing behaviors that are the behaviors and the policing behaviors to dark-skinned peoples about being black enough in one way or the next. Oh. 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 Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I hear it. I hear it now. That's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I get it. We can take it down. Let's put that. Yeah. catty. Let's be catty. Let's be catty. Wow. I'm gonna be catty. So but the getting at the people, getting at folks on the show, the making natural haired women shave their heads and tell them that that would not work. There are only laws passed this year that it is okay for black women to have their natural hair growing out of their natural heads. A thing that I have never seen on the head of Miss Tyra Banks, not even once. Not her own natural. I've seen wigs that look like natural hair. I have not seen natural hair. I lie. Sometimes when she wants to do a real gangster look, she'll do some cornrows. I lied. I have seen it. Yeah, I have seen it. Here's another thing I've seen her do that I'm going to go ahead and say that I take personally and may or may not have anything to do with why I'm petty. She decided to tell one model, again, a black, that for her to be successful, this gorgeous woman was going to have to fix the gap in the front of her teeth because no one wanted to see that. Huh? Is it? Okay. Okay then. Huh? That is super interesting. That is super interesting. And this was all on America's Next Top Model that's going to be the best one ever. How many of them have ever been America's Next Best Model ever, forever, ever after since then? None? Oh, what does that make you? A game show host and a fraud and a failure who was pretending that they were actually doing a thing that was about the industry but wasn't? Huh. I wonder who else did something like that. That's an interesting model to live by. I wonder if there was anybody else who maybe got people fired that perhaps you've been modeling any of your career after. I can't say for sure. I do know this, though. One person who she got fired is one Mr. Tom Bergeron. Tom Bergeron, who is a comedian who has been a long-time television host, 15-year host of Dancing with the Stars. Can we, Joshua, can we bring that up, please? 15-year host of Dancing with the Joshua. I know what show. Okay. Scene here with Bob and Lori Hibbard in the trunk of a cab. 15. This is very undignified for the 15-year host of Dancing with the Stars who want to be famous for scooting around and doing a foxtrot. Do you know what this is rude. Rude. And we're talking about the man being fired. Come on. Come on, Joshua, that's not sensitive. I know you better than that. It's okay. We're going to do better next time. Tom here, seen in the trunk with he worked with that puppet for a very long number of years. Also worked with Whoopi Goldberg on Tic Tac Toe for the Famouses, and of course most recently was on the Washed Up Stars who were dancing around with corrupt politicians to absolve themselves of their past. That job that he was really good at and did for 15 years because he was a stand-up comic who had been put in situations like being forced to work with a fucking puppet was fired, and replaced by the executive host of America's Next Top Model, the woman who was putting people in blackface. And guess what? She's not any good at it. She's fucked it up, and she keeps fucking it up. She announced the wrong winner. That's a thing. That's a thing that I think in the black community we should be a bit sensitive about, is it not? I remember this being important for some reason. I remember this mattering for some reason. Do you know what I mean? And she can't. Oh, and then when she couldn't remember who the winner was, what did she do? She threw her staff under the bus. She went on the Instagrams. She went on the social memeses in full makeup with full lighting to announce that, I'm new at this. They gave me the wrong cue card, and I wasn't paying enough attention to the goddamn show to know what was actually going on. I'm just reading whatever you put in front of me. Fuck you, San Diego. Wow. Fucking wow. Well, fuck you, San Diego. You can't just be doing. I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you. I was rooting for you. No. I was rooting for you. This has been another episode of Smoke and Mirrors. Hey, stay tuned to the very end. Musical guest Redray Frazier coming up next. Check us out on the IG. Smoking. I'm reading this page. I don't understand how this is the thing that gets so fucking fucked up every goddamn time. I seriously, Joshua, maybe you should read it. I don't know what's happening. IG at Smoke and Mirrors, CCB, that's for the comedy, the culture, the blackness. You can check me out at Twitter at Caballo Negrito. Caballo Negrito, that's for fuck you, San Diego. Check us out and drop us a line. Suggest a topic, a guest, a theme, something to say at Smoke and Mirrors CCB at the Gmail of the .com. There, what else could we do? We could do some other things. I don't know. Check us out. This is produced and hosted by myself. This is produced by Tracy Tatamy. Hey, Tyra, listen. Two more quick things. We were rooting for you in the old, and we were rooting for you in the new. And here's why we really have to get in our ass. What is this? What is this? It's time for reconciliation. It's time to come together. It's time to love it. Let's do this, America. No, motherfucker, that's not what we're doing. It's time for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. It is guillotine time. It is time for us to take these goddamn ghouls and hang them by the trees with their entrails. This is time for retribution. No more. We're not doing this. No more forgivesies. Fuck that, Tyra Banks. And now, friend of the show, Redray Frazier.
It's getting colder. The winds are starting to change. Yeah. But have no fear. must be